Hey everyone, Martin here. you know, uh, today's been it's been one of them days, right? This morning I get up 4:30 as normal and start to get my workout in, and I get a phone call bright and early in the morning, letting me know that a guy who used to be in one of our homes passed away last night from drugs, basically from overdosing. And I don't know about you, but like that, I had a pretty good relationship with the guy. I knew him pretty well. We did talk a lot. There was a period where every night I'd be the one picking him up, and we'd have a conversation about kind of like what's going on in his life and the things that are happening around him, and what I came to know him pretty well, and so we had a pretty good relationship. And to hear that he died because he wanted to get loaded again sucked, right? And my wife, got a little teary-eyed about it. But the reality is, man, unfortunately, this is what happens to addicts, right? Shortly after that, I kind of posted, I hope one day addicts realize that their lives are at stake, right? And that this disease is out to kill them, right? Because I don't know about you, but I think sometimes addicts don't realize just their lives are at stake, right? If they knew the power of the disease, which they should, right? Because it's done whooped their butts for years, they'd realize that not doing anything isn't conducive for their health. And what waits us on the other side? So our literature says the alternatives to recovery are jails, institutions, dereliction, and death. And dereliction is willful abandonment of oneself, right? Like lowering your standards as a human being to not even care enough about yourself to do what you gotta do for you. And so the only alternatives, right, are jails, institutions, dereliction, and death. And so I know that most addicts won't get it, but I hope that one day they do, right? The percentages that addicts are going to stay clean forever or even make it 5 years is 95% don't do it. 95, right? And I tell people of the 5%, 95% of them don't make it 10 years. And whatever percent that is left, let's just say 1%, 95% of that 1% ain't going to make it to 15 and so on. Like, they just don't make it. And the unfortunate part is that we forget that we suffer from a disease that is incurable and fatal, and like it doesn't go away, and it's constantly trying to kill me, you know what I mean? So that sucked, that phone call this morning. One of the things that I had posted today that before I knew this was treat others the way you want to be treated. And one of the things that I teach the guys that I work with is that, like, if there's something that I want from you, I have to be willing to do it first, right? And so the idea that I should treat you the way I want to be treated becomes more valuable. People don't do it enough, right? People treat you the way they want to treat you, and that sucks because people are rude and they're mean and they're nasty. And the reality is, man, the world would be a better place if people would just treat each other better. Right? More would get done. Right? What's the saying? You'll catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. But I don't know why we think like being nasty to people is good, right? Do people not deserve respect? Do people not deserve to be appreciated? Do people not deserve to be respected? I don't know what's going on in our world, but it's not good, right? And so, like, I think it was really good to put that out, there, that we just need to treat people the way we want to be treated. Because I don't know about you, but I want to be treated well, right? I want to be treated with respect, and I want to be loved and appreciated and accepted. And if that's what I want for me, then I need to be willing to do it for you, right? I can't expect you to treat me good if I'm not willing to treat you good. And here's the cold piece. Just because I treat you that way does not mean I'm gonna get treated that way, right? There's no guarantee, but the expectation is that I should at least be the one doing it if that's what I desire for myself, right? And people are like, oh, if you're not gonna respect me, I'm not gonna respect you. And And that's not the way this works, right? God calls us to be selfless and sacrificial, and to lose myself. And so I can't be so concerned with what I'm expecting first. I need to be willing to do it for you. And I have to love you the way I would like to be loved, right? Because I don't know about you, man, but I got all these things in my head that tell me that I'm not good enough, that I'm not smart enough, that I'm not cool enough, that I'm not whatever, right? Like all this BS that goes on through my brain. And I know I'm not alone because I've heard other people talk about it. But the reality is, like, how do I help you with that, right? How do I help you in that? You know, my wife doesn't ever feel beautiful. She's always telling her self-talk is horrible, right? And she tells herself that she's fat and ugly and stupid, and I'm trying to encourage her by telling her she's beautiful and she's sexy and she's all these wonderful, amazing things. I call her my queen, and you know what I mean? Like I try to love on her as much as humanly possible. It doesn't fix the problem. Don't hear me, right? Don't hear me saying just doing that will make everything better. It doesn't. But what it does do is it helps the situation, right? I'm not adding to the negativity that's already going on in her head. What I want to do is encourage her to know that things can be different if she would just look at it, right? I'm always talking about the quote in our basic text says, it's easier for us to change our perception of reality than to change reality, right? And if I can just say, you know, you're beautiful, that might change her perception one day, right? Not necessarily going to solve it, it's not going to fix it, but it might change her perception. And that's the one thing I try to teach the guys that I work with, man. Like, love your wife the way you want her to love you, right? Like, I want my wife to respect me, so I need to respect her. I want my wife to appreciate me, so I need to appreciate her. I need my wife to desire me, so I need to desire her, right? This isn't a you do it first and then I'll do it back. No, this is let me lead you, right? My wife asked me to lead her, so let me lead you in showing you what this looks like, and then you can follow suit, right? You can follow suit. I'm not asking my wife to lead me, right? I'm not one of those guys. I have the expectation and the call by God to lead her. And so, like, it's crazy how many men I watch, like, wait for their wives to do for them before they ever do for her. Man, that's sucker stuff right there. The reality is I need to do for her first. I need to do for my kids first. I need to do for my family first. Then they can follow suit and do for me. You know what I mean? Treat others the way you want to be treated, man. Whether it be friends, strangers, right? Like, hold a door open for somebody, right? I love when people hold doors open for me. I gladly say thank you, right? Thank you for holding the door, because people are so much in a rush to get somewhere to do nothing, right? It doesn't take very long to show appreciation to people, and I think we need to get better at that as a world, right? We need to do better. We need to be better. Like, you know, so often people are wanting to talk about all this change, and they're expecting somebody to come here and save them, and that's not going to happen. We need to take care of each other. We need to do this ourselves. I'm not looking for nobody to take care of me. I need to be the one doing it. And that's why I make these videos every night, because I told somebody I would do it, right? I would do this, and so here I am doing it. You know, and so I appreciate everybody that's been watching and following this journey, you know, watching me get my workout. Or I haven't actually posted no videos of me working out per se. Let me finish learning how to do all this editing stuff, because it takes time, right? Like, for me to do it the way I want, I could slap some stuff together and it would be horrible, but I want to do it nicely. And so I have a guy that I'm working with that is trying to, you know, get me on some programs and teach me a few things and show me how to make it happen. And then when I get it together, like, I want to show you guys my workouts. I want to show you guys, like, my food, right? I want to show you my life, right? I'm looking to start another little playlist here soon, Walking with Wendy, right? And it's going to be me and my wife going on walks together, talking about life together, right? Our kids, our grandkids, vacations, things that are happening in our home and in our businesses, right? Like, showing men and women how to be happily married together, how to communicate, because that's the one thing that sucks in marriages today, is communication and conflict resolution, right? People don't know how to talk to each other. And so my hope is that my wife and I can go on a walk and show couples, whether they're married or single and looking to date, right? Because if you are looking, you want to look for somebody that has some similar qualities to you and that you appreciate being around, that you enjoy their company, not somebody that's just about the sex, because sex comes and goes. But you want to find somebody that you appreciate being around and enjoy them. So we're looking to get that started. I'm hoping that I got a drone here that I can try to fly around or have somebody help fly it around me and kind of pick up some stuff for us. We got these GoPros, we got our phones, like really trying to do this thing right, you know what I mean? Like, and this is a journey, right? This is like us trying to just figure it out. So, you know, some days I have a couple GoPros set up, I have my computer set up, I have, you know, my phone set up, and we're just figuring it out, right? And seeing what it looks like to do this together. Every day going forward now, though, I want to read the daily meditation, and I want to post it for you. That way you have somewhere to go to if you're in recovery, to come get your daily meditation, right? The hope is that after a while too, or soon, I'll talk a little bit about each meditation as well, right? Like, my hope is to put some content out that's useful for people, that they can get something spiritually, recovery oriented, you know, food, health wise, family wise. I just want to do this thinking in our world that people need, and if I have something to offer it, I'll give it to you guys, because I do this for me, but I do it for the world, right? I want people to see what it looks like to grow up in public. So I don't know if anybody's told you today, but God loves you, and so do I. I hope you have a great day, and God bless you.